That Chino XL and Rebel Armz chapter in your book, though, bro, I was a little surprised, man. You decided to reveal what you did. It's like borderline, you revealed a lot, but you said that you still held some back. It seems like there's some resentment there on your part towards Rebel Armz because of what you wrote in the original IG post that where you were going at Stacy in the caption.
Yeah, Penn called me, and, he's like, look, dude, I'm part of Rebel Armz. And I'm like, but I'm not talking about you. And he's like, but I'm still a part of that. All right, cool. Because Chino told me before he passed, Penn is my brother. You can fuck with Penn. You can trust Penn. And Penn there's no loyalty to M80 other than the fact he knows that Chino told him the same shit. M is my brother. Look out for him. But Penn's loyalty will always be with Tech. And that's fine. That man puts money in your pockets. I get it. I understand how the shit works. But I know that Chino's passing was semi-convenient for some of those people.
What do you mean by that?
Because they didn't get to see Chino publicly denounce Rebel Armz. I'm not a part of this anymore. I'm not with them anymore.
You're saying that was in his plans?
Yeah.
Why?
It's in the beginning of that chapter, I discussed that Chino had uncovered some things that he did not align with his morals, did not align with him as a girl dad, and did not want any parts of that anymore. And the unfortunate thing for Chino was, because of his financial situation, could not leave on his terms, because anytime that there was money on the table, in order to pay the bills, in order to take care of his daughters and do what he had to do, he had to, be there. He had to be present. Even the part where Chino felt like he was being cheated for money, and I was like essentially coming to the defense of Immortal Technique. He's like, stop being all political with it. Like, if I'm supposed to get paid $3,000, I want the $3,000. I don't want you to deduct all the shit and be like, here's my $500. Fuck that. But, I don't have a problem speaking out about any of the shit. A lot of people, obviously, I can speak out about it because I'm in a better financial standpoint. Like, if you're going to beat me for money, I'm going to go work with someone who doesn't try to beat me for money. That being said, Chino was not so fortunate, But no, Chino was not Rebel Armz at the time of his passing.
But you're being a little vague about that situation. So you're saying that
I have to be.
Okay. All right.
It's protecting the innocent.
Got you. Okay. Cause I think in the book, when you spoke about Bobby Bowdit, right? You said you Rebel Armz brothers and arms as in.
I can talk about that shit 100%. I ain't holding back shit on that shit.
I know, but you said specifically in that part, you said you Rebel Armz brothers and arms is in fact fucking scum. So why would you say that though?
Bobby was Chino's best friend and stole the money that could have kept Chino alive at least an extra 6 to 12 months.
I know, but when you put it as when you put it as you Rebel Armz brothers in arms, you're talking about the whole group though, aren't you?
Sure, minus Penn. But that's the thing. I had to tell Penn on the phone, I'm not talking about you. In the book, I write that like Chino told me I could always like confide in Penn. So I get it. He's Rebel Armz, but I had to tell him I'm not speaking about you. If you read my book, you'll understand that I specifically like called you out as you are not part of this to me, because she had nothing bad at all to say about you. And they're like, well, Chino had bad things to say about you too. That's why in the Chino chapter, I'm like, here's the 5 or 6 times that my brother wasn't happy with me.
Right.
And then the funny thing, after it came out, I remembered one more thing, but it was funny to me. Like, Chino was mad that I was in a music video for my artist Truth, who had a song with Sugar Free, and she wasn't happy about it because Sugar Free, is the pimp and pimp nuts. So it's not the most sound thing when you're a girl dad.
Got you.
Promoting the pimpery. But I thought the video, I'm playing like a simp in the video where like this hot chick's trying to sell me a classic car. And I'm just like, being wooed by her. And I just hand her my wallet and my credit card, like without, and it's funny. But that's why in the Chino part of the chapter, I talk about the times where I feel like I let Chino down. So they can't use that as ammo against me. Like, I know when I fucking disappointed him. It's okay for that to happen. I've had more arguments than with my actual blood brother. Look at Wu-Tang. These are a band of brothers. They come together to get bread, bro. Those motherfuckers don't like each other like that. Not 30 years later.
But what are your issues with Tech specifically then?
Before Chino came to me for the money and shit, he went to Tech first, and the money ended up coming from me. But, I without looking at my books next to Immortal Technique's books, I've always thought that Tech's probably been as prominent, if not more, in the financial world than me. And it's like, Bobby Bowdit has always been a hustler, hence the name. None of your brothers that have been your lifetime brothers came through for you. I did. And if Kill Priest would have still been my brother, then that would have never happened. If he would have come to me, if Chino would have come to me when I was a father, that wouldn't have happened. It was like, dude, I really don't want to see you fucking trying to piece this money together. $1,000 here, 500 here, 100 there, $6,000 here. Like, I'm going to go try to get this 50 for you. But I think of the 50, he took like 45. And the procedure was like 32 to 36,000 or some shit. And the other 9 or 10 was just for fucking like expenses and shit, dude. Like living, That's my qualm, bro. These motherfuckers, like I said this in an interview the other day about the Rhymefest shit. Rhymefest got all fucking huffy puffy about, I didn't tip. Like, he made a post where he didn't tip the waiter because the waiter was fucking slow with his hot sauce or some dumb shit.
Right.
When you are blessed to make money, God blesses you to bless others. What are you going to die with all that bread? That's why I helped Chino the way I helped him. And it wasn't just this one instance, but it really hurt me to be like, God, dude, you speak so highly of Immortal Technique. And for all accounts, he's a good person. When I talk to him, he's not disrespectful to me, But you could have paid that shit, bro. I don't want to hear about how much money you donated to China after he died. What the fuck did you do in his lifetime, in his time of need, other than give him $500 when he's supposed to be getting thousands? That Chino told me about, and like show me fucking emails. Like, I got this email. I don't think I was supposed to get it, but like, Chino was offered Immortal Technique got him like $3,000 to be on the show with him, and then gave him $500. Like, that was the part of the book I'm talking about where I'm telling Chino, maybe Tech takes his cut, and then your flight, your hotel. He's like, nah, I ain't trying to hear none of that shit, dude. Which is also typical rapper shit where they're not trying to hear the justification of how the money gets spent. But so that's it. When like, if you're my brother, like how I view Immortal Technique and Chino XL, anything you need that I can accommodate should always be accommodated. That's how I see it. It doesn't have to be any deeper than that. If I got it, you got it type shit. I got a sandwich, you're hungry, we split the motherfucking sandwich, right?
Right.
I don't take 1/10 of the sandwich and be like, here's a bite.
Wasn't there a situation though, like where like Tech said that he was gonna buy like the owner, the masters to the albums and stuff if you could prove that it was going to Lyric and Bella?
No, it wasn't even that. He just wanted me to get him in touch with all the parties. And him and his lawyer would handle all the business. I just was connecting the dots. So that's interesting for one of two reasons. One, it's interesting because I believed him. And I'm like, okay, now you're going to flex some money. Because if you're buying all these rights, we're talking over $100,000. Like this, this label paid 25, this label paid 10, this label paid 17.5, like, that kind of shit. So I was happy that could have happened. I even posted like applauding Tech, which of course made him look good in my story and shit. He shared it or whatever. Or no, whatever. But then when China goes against her word and was like, we just are anti-M80, I would never like fuck with my sisters over, which is exactly what she did. She literally fought her own sisters to gain sole access to the estate, cutting Lyric and Bella out of it. So again, another thing where it's like, I told you so. I fucking told you so. Gross is gross. So then Tech got to fall on the excuse, well, now that the estate's divided, it's probably best I fall back. So we never got to see him flex any kind of authority there, any kind of financial muscle. And I would have liked to see that happen because there were people that were like, I'll sell them the rights if it's going to the family. I'll charge them exactly what I paid. No profit. So I'm the only one who did that shit.
Mm.
You know?
Wasn't there a situation where something was said on stage that was upsetting to you too?
Yeah. I talked about that with Penn. This is at Red Rocks like a month or two ago, and this is after China's taken the estate away from Lyric and Bella, has launched ChinoXL.com with like moronic shit that Chino would have never fucking released, like fucking aprons and marijuana stash boxes and eye poppy shirts, you know. And Tech says something along the lines like, and I want to give a shout out to China too. I'll never forget you again. It's like, yeah, bro, it's okay to take sides, dude. Like if you were Chino's brother, like I was Chino's brother, yes, that's Chino's daughter, but she was so important to him. I guess she was brought up to me 0 times in 17 years. And Tech, you know, in the grand scheme of things, that Lyric and Bella rank above China in far as importance in Chino's life. And that's just what that is. I don't make the rules, okay? Yes, Chino obviously loved his daughter, all his daughters. They're his siblings, okay? That we're not going to act like that's not a thing. So you're shouting China out after she's done all the fuck shit to Lyric and Bella. They can't even call her anymore. If Lyric and Bella tries to call China, be like, oh, contact our attorney or talk to Stacy or talk to DJ G.I. Joe. It's like, what? We're calling you just to like talk as sisters. So yeah, I don't respect that shit. But I'm the only person that can just talk my talk because I'm Team Chino XL, bro. All these other people are, I want to be in Switzerland. I want to be in the neutral territory on it. I don't want to speak on it. I don't give a fuck.
Have you reached out to Tech directly to try to resolve those kind of feelings that you have towards him about that?
Yeah, I don't dislike the guy. I say fucked up shit all the time too. But I'm not calling Tech, or he's not, people aren't calling me every time I fucking say something they might not like. This is how I feel about that situation. I think life will go on. I think we'll both be all right. We could be in the same room each other and dap each other up and keep it pushing. Like his business has nothing to do with me and my business has nothing to do with him.
That's it. That's the end of that.
Yeah. I'm not going to call and be like, hey man, I don't like the fact that you shouted out China. Like maybe Tech has his own relationship with China. Like, cool.
Do you think that's more of a conversation that you guys might have if you guys were in person with each other?
No.
Not at all?
No.
It just is what it is?
It's not significant enough to warrant further discussion. It's
got you.
Okay, like you clearly they hit him like, that's fucked up that you did this event and didn't shout out China. Like he didn't do that shit because he felt like he had like wanted to. He did that because they hit him like, how dare you? Like trying to make him feel bad, I'm sure. So whatever. You know. Hey, what about that Swave Sever part of that shit's hilarious to me.
What?
In his chapter where he like wanted to fight me because Steve Reyes had told him that I was blocking his blessings. I'm like, bro, no offense, but in my entire lifetime, no one has ever called me for any Swave anything. Yeah, that's hilarious.